Thank you for logging on to the PawCast for the week of Monday, November 7th through Friday the 11th. Hello, I'm Mr. Andrews, and it's time for some Pawville news. This week in our classroom, we're going to continue working on our power goals. Students are still reading 30 minutes at school and 30 minutes each night at home, whether we're at school or not. So, parents, if you could be my reading coaches each and every night, verify for your student that they are reading for 30 minutes, and then they're going to log that. They're trying to earn 2 steps each and every night, and you're just going to initial on the far right-hand side. Thank you for doing that for us. Also, students need to be aware that since we do have Tuesday and Friday out of school, we are going to have our Time for Kids quiz on Thursday this week. You'll get your Time for Kids on Monday, and you'll have your quiz on Thursday. So make sure that you're reading Monday night and Tuesday and Wednesday for your quiz. That'll be on Thursday. In science, students are going to be declaring their science fair topic on Monday. I've asked students to go home and share with parents both during this past week and this weekend. And parents, if you could help with the guidelines on this, basically I've shared with students that they're trying to prove, compare, or solve something using the scientific method. And we did something similar to that in our classroom this week, in which we tried to prove which was the best bubble-blowing sugarless gum. And so students have a copy of how that worked, and we actually worked through that in our classroom. And we also made a model trifold board that students can look at for their example. But students need to go ahead and declare. Monday, I'll be asking students to come to the bean table and share with me their ideas. And we might have to shape and remold that a little bit for them. But parents, if you could just help and guide with that, I'd really appreciate it. Remember, the objective is to try to solve, compare, or prove something using the scientific method. Also, this week we're going to continue with our ecology studies. We took a week off this past week in order to be able to talk about science fair, the expectations of science fair, and the fact that we only have about 3.5 weeks before our science fair project is going to be due on December 9th. That's a Friday, December 9th. In math this week, we are going to continue with the order of operations and developing our proficiency of using the orders of operations. So students need to continue to study that each and every night. We're going to continue to practice at school and at home this week. And don't be surprised if you don't have a quiz of some sort on the order of operations before this week is through as well. In social studies this week, our big Pawville election finally happens on Wednesday, and then our government phase will begin in our classroom. So we're looking forward to that. And I do want to encourage you to watch the Pawville 21 debate, which happened this past Friday in class. Both of our candidates have done a super job, and they have proven that it's going to be a very, very difficult choice in Pawville to be able to decide our next president. Our vice presidential running mates are top of the line as well. So Pawville has a great school year in front of it based on the leadership of the 2 candidates that have debated and shown themselves to be worthy before their cat and dog parties. You are watching WPAW, Channel 21, serving Pawville, USA.
Hello, I am Mackenzie Moore and welcome to Pawville Weather, Channel 21. The cities we are going to be focusing on today are Miami, Nashville, Greensboro, Denver, and Los Angeles. Today in Miami, there should be some warmer temperatures with some light to moderate rain because of a warm front that is passing over the area. It should bring some stratus cloud rain, which would be light to moderate rain lasting for several days. This low pressure will be pulling down the cooler air and pushing up the warmer air in a counterclockwise direction, which would also be pushing up the warm front. It would make this warm front go over some cooler air, making it have to go over that. And since the cold air is not going to move anytime soon, it'll create some rain that should last for several days. Today in Denver, there should be a cold front passing over the area with some thunderstorms. This low pressure would be bringing down some cooler air, which is also going to be pushing along the warmer front, the cold front, and pulling up the warmer air. They should have thunderstorms today and maybe some rain tomorrow. If the sun has a chance to come out, they will have some thunderstorms tomorrow. Over in Nashville and Greensboro, this high pressure is in control, pulling down some cooler air clockwise and pulling up some warmer air. This high pressure is pulling down some cooler air, which would give Nashville and Greensboro some partly cloudy skies, and pulling up the warmer air, leaving them with cooler temperatures. But tomorrow, this cold front and this warm front should be meeting over Nashville and Greensboro, creating a stationary front. A stationary front is where the cold air and the warm air are on opposite sides, and neither has the energy to push the other out. So that will be staying over Greensboro for several days, bringing them some thunderstorms. And unlike that stationary front, we're going to move on over to Los Angeles. Over in Los Angeles, they should have some sunny with fair skies. Tomorrow, this low pressure would be bringing down some cooler air, but since it's on the warm side of the jet stream, it should only last till about here, which then is just going to give them partly cloudy skies. It should keep bringing down some cooler air, leaving them with just mostly cloudy skies. Thank you for watching Pawville weather. Over in Greensboro, it should be partly cloudy with a high of 60 degrees on Wednesday. Thursday, 62 degrees, thunderstorms because of that stationary front. Friday, 67 degrees, thunderstorms.
Mr. Andrews, he's in the U.S., he's at a capital. Oh, which one will we learn about this week?
And now, where in the United States is Mr. Andrews? Well, the first clue is behind me right now. You can see the capital of this particular state. This state contains over 600,000 acres of lakes and 9,700 miles of streams and rivers. The Dover Lights appear here. It's an unexplained phenomenon that appears, flickers, and sways in various colors. A southern version of Bigfoot called Boggy Creek Monster has been sighted in this particular state, and it is said that it's 7 feet tall, hairy all over, kills dogs, chickens, and cattle. You can tell I was wanting to use this one for Halloween weekend, can't you? This state's nickname is the Natural State, and it's also home of Sam Walton and his Walmart stores. So, in order to get credit for your bonus answer, you'll need to have this state's capital and the state name, and mom and dad's signature that lets me know they also watched this PawCast.
Where is Mr. Andrews? He's in the U.S., he's at a capital. Oh, which one will we learn about this week?
Let's all have a great week together, and let's all get the big paw.